The property is what we bought, and the house kind of came along. The house happened just to be livable. We were looking in the countryside. Naturally, there'd be old farmsteads that would be in the country. Most of those houses were old, added on to, cobbled up, derelict. No, we didn't really buy the house. We got the property. It's a beautiful piece of 11 acres and a location in a beautiful property. And so the house came. At first, it was good size. We didn't need to think about adding on. No, we needed an extra room. We didn't have a playroom. We didn't have anything like that. We just had the standard 3 bedrooms. One was which was an office at the time. Of course, you could make that a bedroom. We did. So we wanted a big playroom and all that, so we added on. The living room was small, so things like that. I had a big leaky picture window on the north side of the living room. Anyway, so that had to go. So I had the idea of just bumping it out a little bit. So it wasn't 8 feet, 6 feet, something like that. But anyway, I thought I'd get a little dimension if I dropped the roof line down a couple feet. Besides, I wanted to make a cathedral ceiling, something different. I thought if I made a conventional ceiling there, it'd look all right. But then I put a skylight in the west side. The whole ceiling is polyurethane board, a hard board. I don't use fiberglass. I always figured for molding, you gotta keep the hot away from the cold, separate the two. So I made like an envelope. The whole wall is an envelope of the inner layer is like, you got your 2x4, or I slapped a 2x4 because that's what's there. And hardboard, blue board between the studs tight. Like I said, a couple feet in the ceiling. And then I built a little airspace, 1 inch, 2 inch. And I put another 2x4 wall outside of that. So I got a whole separate inner envelope. Got rid of the leaky picture window, didn't have to buy it. New window for there. But then I ended up making a kind of a bump out window on the north side, kind of big. And I did that for light, because I guess to do it again, I would have made it a little smaller. But that's the regret I have on the whole project is I still put a bigger window on the north side. Not that big, about 1/3 the size of what was in there. But it makes it really pleasing to sit in there. It's kind of like a little alcove. You got a recliner in a corner. It's kind of a cozy little out of the way. I got a building inspector said I go and add on, I think it was 25% additional space without. If I did anything larger than 25%, they would mess with my septic tank. I'd have to have it enlarged. And I really didn't want to bother with that. So I was like, no, let's just make it 24% larger. I have to work with what's here, for one thing. Everything I wanted to do, the house was 2 feet too narrow. I had 2 extra feet. I could have really made a nicer job on everything. But everything is like, oh wait, because I wanted the roof line, again, to match the north side. I wanted the roof line higher or lower. I ended up going higher, existing house. And anyway, I just started, there's a garage below, so the garage is just a little bit smaller than it could be, et cetera, et cetera. All I remember is everything I did is like, why didn't they build this house 2 feet wider? It would have been really nice. It's winter here, and I have a wood stove underneath the room as well, so I got a warm garage. It warms up the floor in the sunroom over there. It's a cement floor. Underneath that is a wood stove, so it warms up there's concrete floor, and then there's a rock around the wood stove. So as you keep heating day after day, the rock gets progressively warmer, slowly, of course. And then so the rock kind of keeps its temperature for a while. It's hard that it doesn't drop quickly. So it makes a cozy house. There's two rooms. There's the big room, we call it big, it's like, so it's kind of big. It's bigger than the rest of the rooms in the house. Big room, and then there's a sunroom facing directly south with all the windows. Well, I wanted the big room as big as possible, but I wanted the sunroom not to be, too tiny. I wanted to use something out of there, so. Anyway, I just come up with, I had a tape ruler, and taping it off, and try, go into rooms that have those sizes. I came up with a number. It's like, oh, well, I guess that's what it'd be. And, I'm not that experienced at it. I couldn't visualize exactly. When I got all the footprint done, it's like, well, maybe I could make the sunroom a little bit smaller. So that was only a regret, but it's okay. So there's a beam in the middle. That's where all the wires go from the main house into here. They drop down the walls here and there. So the beam is hollow inside, so that is solid. It's made to look solid. Supposed to look like a barn beam, a fake beam. It's a car siding, cathedral ceiling with the 90 pine car siding, 1x6, 1x8, 1x8 probably. Well, I mentioned earlier on the envelope thing on the north side. Well, I did that here, but I did it even. What I did is I framed it in, super insulated it. I mean, really, it's like a refrigerator. And then I bolted 2x4s on top of that roof, and then I put another piece of decking on top of that, put the roof on there, so there's like 3.5 inches of airspace throughout the whole roof. The advantage of that is keep the hot away from cold, and you got a natural draw from the different pressure differential. The air just keeps circulating lower to higher, and keeps the roof cool. And the shingles, I bought, the house already the shingles were older on the house, so I didn't want to buy expensive shingles for this, because I wanted it all rot, the roof all rot away at once. So I bought the cheapest shingles I could buy at Menards, no less. Garbage shingles are like 10 cents a square, that's how bad they were. Anyway, I put them on there, and the roof doesn't get hot at all. There's no hot heat, because you got the constant, draw air from under the eaves all the way through the top peak of the roof. So that roof has been lasting forever and ever until the gravel pebbles, so the little pebbles finally ever wear off. The house is 25% bigger, and actually our energy use went down. I try to do it, I guess, most things the best way possible. And I wasn't a builder, diddle around on the north side there and build a little shop outside of, stick building garage. So I didn't have a lot of experience. But I guess a lot of it's just like, you just kind of think about it. It's like, I guess I've always been observant. I've always looked at other places, and I admired good craftsmanship, so I probably always looked at it over the years. But I was happy to have a room from there. All the kids were starting to get older already. I guess they enjoyed the room. We had Christmas parties. I guess it really makes the house a different dimension of the house. So I guess it affected me more just the way I live. Because in the wintertime, it's like the sunroom, it's like it could be 10 degrees outside. And I'm sitting in a recliner, comfy, warm, looking out at the snow 2 feet away out the window. So I guess it's affected me more just by lifestyle. I think lifestyle is a big thing for, especially houses, car you can trade in, this, that, whatever. vacations come and go. But you know, your house you're in every day. It affects who you are. It affects, you know, how you interact with people. So I think the rooms enhanced all that.